What's up, you guys? So 4 years after Zoe Saldana's portrayal of Nina Simone in the Netflix film about her life, Zoe is coming out and saying that she should have never played that role, which required her to darken her skin and wear a prosthetic nose. Around the time of the film's production and release, Zoe Saldana was heavily criticized for playing the role of Nina, whom she did not resemble much at all. Nina Simone was a dark-skinned woman of African descent with features that are normally associated with blackness, like having a relatively round nose and large eyes. And although Zoe Saldana identifies as black, her skin is much lighter than Nina Simone's and her nose is much sharper than Nina. So in order to portray Nina Simone, she wore dark makeup, which could be interpreted as blackface, and she wore a round prosthetic nose. And many people found Zoe's choice to portray Nina while wearing blackface and a prosthetic nose deeply insulting, because there's a history of that in this country. There's a deep history that goes along with putting on dark makeup and round noses to portray black people in this country. And as a person with naturally dark skin and a rounder nose, I personally felt like Zoe Saldana looked like a joke dressed up as Nina Simone. She looked like a joke to me and to so many other people who felt like she was making a mockery of Nina Simone's physical features and the way Nina Simone naturally showed up in the world. Nina Simone's dark skin and her facial features played a large part in how she was viewed in this world. People judged her for her dark skin and wide eyes and nose, and her looks deeply affected how people treated her, and to see Zoe Saldana wear a fake nose and dark skin to portray her was downright insulting to a lot of people.
What are your true thoughts about the casting for Nina Simone roles? You know, people have particular thoughts about that. I feel like you do as well. What are your thoughts on that? Do you have any thoughts on Nina Simone's story and how that went about?
Zoe she is a woman of color.
Yes.
But I think that we need to be a little more true to our stories, but I don't wish any harm on her. You know, we're actresses, we want to work, but I think that there were women who might have been more of a truer, just what may have been a better choice, but I'm sure that she'll do a wonderful job.
There's so many other actresses that were absolutely right on for that role. Viola Davis, musically India Ari, and that's just two off the top of my head. The makeup alone frightened me because I was like, I didn't know what I was looking at. Do I love the actress who's playing her? I love that actress. Is this necessarily the role that I would have chosen? No, but somebody did. Somebody liked her, loved her enough to give her their money, make that movie with her in it. We'll see where it falls.
But now, years later, Zoe Saldana says she's come to the realization that she shouldn't have put on that nose, that prosthetic nose and dark makeup to portray Nina Simone. She should have stepped aside and allowed a black woman who naturally resembled Nina Simone to play that part.
I have a question, though, for you, which is connected to what you've been sharing, which is in that process of, obviously that process of finding yourself, and I feel like we're all always finding ourselves. It's evolution. It's a process of evolution. We're always learning new things and growth, and in that process of growth and evolution and changing, that you begin to see the world with new eyes, and it forces you then to reflect on past choices. And I know that this is a sensitive topic for you, but obviously a few years back there was a lot of controversy around the decision that you made to play Nina Simone. And at the time, there were a lot of questions around blackface and darkening skin and prosthetics. And I wonder, what is your relationship with that choice now? How has the process of evolution for you and in loving yourself changed not only the roles that you're taking today, but how it makes you reflect on that decision?
I should have never played Nina. I should have never played Nina. I should have done everything in my power with the leverage that I had 10 years ago, which was a different leverage, but it was leverage nonetheless. I should have tried everything in my power to cast a black woman to to play an exceptionally perfect black woman. It's growing. It's painful. I thought back then that I had the permission because I was a black woman, and I am. But it was Nina Simone, and Nina had a life, and she had a journey that should have been, and it should be honored to the most specific detail, because she was a specifically detailed individual about her voice and her opinions and her views and her music and her art, and she was so honest, so she deserved better. But that said, so I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, because I love her music, but it wasn't enough. It shouldn't have been enough. But that said, she's one of our giants. Somebody else should step up. Somebody else should tell her story, because she's one of those people that I'm besotted that Nina Simone, her story hasn't been like a global fucking impact when we're taking her music for car and we're using it in car commercials, or I'm taking her image and her story and I think that I'm okay to tell it. We've been appropriating ourselves with someone like Nina Simone for a very long time, and I just want her story to be told, and I want it to be right because she deserves it. And our America deserves it, because the Americans that inhabit today's America deserve her story to be told. And I know better today, and I'm never going to do that again. Never. So there. But I'm learning. I'm still processing. I've been processing it for 10 years, and I think it's a conversation that I want to have. I'm not going to allow people to violate me and to make me feel less than, but I am going to be open to this conversation so that we can grow from it, and we can give back to ourselves and to each other our identity. For fuck's sake, it's about time.
I'm glad to see Zoe realize that the backlash about her wearing prosthetics to play the role of Nina Simone was not about challenging the blackness of Zoe or how Zoe identifies herself. It was about honoring Nina Simone and her lived experiences as a dark-skinned black woman in this world. It was about Nina, not her. And her sentiments now are a lot different from how she felt back in 2016 when she was being criticized for wearing dark makeup and prosthetics to play Nina Simone. Back then, she thought the conversation centered around her and her having lighter skin and having, quote, light skin privilege, as she called it in an interview with Sway in the Morning.
I understand that it is a topic that has brought much pain to a community.
You do understand that, though.
Of course,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But I was silent because I'm never going to justify or explain my blackness. I know who I am. I do not have a problem with that. I don't hate myself for being black. I don't think I'm privileged for being lighter. I don't think I'm privileged for being lighter. I wasn't raised with lighter, lightest, lightest. I don't understand. Do you understand what I'm saying? My mother is still to this day the kind of person that if she shares with you an anecdote about an individual, she doesn't go, I was hanging out with my friend who's gay, unless the story is about something that was about him being gay. So I don't know how to describe people in boxes. I don't know how to act when I'm boxed into something. So, and I think that my career and the way that I live my life is an accurate reflection of who I am.
Leave a comment and share your thoughts about Zoe Saldana coming to the conclusion that she should have never played Nina Simone. Do you agree with her that she should have never put on that dark makeup and that prosthetic nose? And what do you think made her finally come to this conclusion? Leave a comment and share your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.